Hello guys, Muze here today, and today I'm gonna do a quick guide on Rogue on 5.3, but it's actually like a general guide. And for today I'm gonna cover which spec is the best, or yeah, specs actually. Which talents are the best to use, but you can still change those up. Which glyphs are the best for rogues at the moment, because half of them are for PvE. So then I'm gonna also cover up gems, reforging, and enchant. So basically some stat priority, and also gonna show you guys some macros I have. This is PvP, no PvE, so just so you know. So let's start off with the spec. You should basically choose which I find the best. At least you can still change it up. As you can see, I have assassination spec and sub spec, but I mainly use sub spec because yeah, I feel it's way better for trees, though there are some assassination rogues and you also see combat rogues, but those will pretty much be OP in patch 5.4. So but best way to go is basically sub, because you have shadow dance where you don't have it in assassination and combat, and you also have find weakness, which makes your attacks to bypass 100% of the enemy's armor for 10 seconds, as you can read. So it's basically insane. Like, it's all only ambush, Garrett, or cheap shot that put this debuff actually up, let's say. But it's, yeah, you have to open anyway, so, or in dance, so it's pretty sick. Why would you choose sub or assassination? Assassination is also good for the vendetta buff. Like, basically you do a lot, like 30% more damage for 20 seconds on the target you put it onto, and it's a 2-minute cooldown, so it's pretty good. But I mainly would recommend to use assassination in 2s and sub in 3s, because in 3s you might need to peel for your team, and you might have to use dance, which is only a 1-minute cooldown. And it's also good, like, let's say you're in deep shit, you're on the defensive side and you're in trouble, but there's an opponent overextending, and you can just dance on him, so you're actually peeling with an offensive move. So if you put your PvP trinket on it as well, which is also a 1-minute cooldown, then you can put a lot of counter pressure up, and you can basically just get a lot of cooldowns out of the target and the opponent, and you can get them on the defensive side actually, so that's way better. But yeah, assassination is a lot of fun to play in 2s, to be honest, but I basically like sub more. So now let's go over to the talent tree. Yeah, in the first talent tree there's actually no doubt you're taking subterfuge, because yeah, when you attack a target in stealth, the first 3 seconds from the first attack you do, you won't get popped out of stealth, so you can still Garrett and cheap shot and ambush as well, and sap even. So let's say, yeah, you're gonna open on someone, but yeah, you wanna do like a double cheap shot, you can, which you couldn't before without dance, so it's pretty sick. And also, yeah, if you got dots on yourself, let's say you're doing 2s with a mage or something, and you gotta eat, you're eating, you're gonna go stealth, and the dots actually are gonna break your stealth. You're still gonna be in for 3 seconds, so you get a free opener. That's also when you're moving in an AoE, not flare, because that pops you out of stealth instantly, but let's say dead and decay, consecration, stuff like that, you're gonna be in stealth for 3 more seconds, so you can still sap another target than the one who put up the AoE, and then just open up if you're fast enough, of course. In level 30, which is the second tier of the talents, I recommend you to actually go combat readiness or nerve strike. Going combat readiness is actually only against melee cleaves, like let's say feral warrior or hunter warrior, hunter feral, stuff like that. Because when they go on you, they deal physical damage, and yeah, it reduces physical damage taken, and it stacks up to 5, which is 50% less damage, and yeah, it's it lasts for 20 seconds. So if you like pre-wall, let's say a shockwave when there's 2 guys on you, or you wall on Zoo, it's up instantly, and then you can still feint. So you take like, I don't know, like 80% less damage or something like that. So that's basically good. But then for against casters, like let's say mage, shadow priest, something like that, or mage warlock, shadow priest warlock, doesn't matter really, any caster teams, I prefer to go nerve strike, because if you do a successful kidney shot or cheap shot, their damage is reduced by 50% and healing is reduced by 10% for that target. So it lasts for 6 seconds after a successful kidney or cheap shot. So that's actually what I prefer to go against casters, like yeah, mage lock, shadow priest lock, shadow priest boomkin, like anything with 2 casters actually. It's basically what you prefer to play, because yeah, if you're like 100% sure the target in a melee cliff is not going for you, then you could go nerve strike as well, which helps pretty much against yeah, warrior, DK, something like that. Doesn't really matter, any melee cleave. But if they then swap on you, you don't have wall, so it's yeah, wall is a pretty big thing for a rogue, because if you don't have trinket and you can still pre-wall a shockwave or something, you're still a little bit better than when you have no trinket or wall up and maybe not even feint. So it's pretty sick. Then for the 3rd tier, there's cheat death, leeching poison, and elusiveness. You basically don't use cheat death. It used to be really good, like in Cataclysm and in yeah, Wrath of the Lich King and stuff like that, but it just doesn't proc in time, or either it just doesn't keep you up. Like they can still kill you in your cheat death, and yeah, it doesn't really help you actually. You'll just die. But elusiveness, it's when you feint, your feint ability gets a 30% damage reduction buff on you for 5 seconds, and you can basically spam it with the energy cost of 20 energy, which isn't a lot, because if you have slice and dice up and you do feint while your 5 seconds are over, you can do it again. It basically costed you no energy. So it's a real good thing to do, and when you're real good at arena, you can really like pre-feint deeps or pre-feint shockwave, pre-feint kidney shot. Actually, you're gonna have 30% damage reduction on their actual burst, so it might just save you right there. So the only actually way to go is elusiveness, in my opinion. There are some rogues playing with cheat death, but it doesn't help. It's pretty much shit, to be honest. So then for the 4th tier, the only way I go is shadow step, because let's say you're against hunters or something, and your healer is gonna get trapped. You can step him and just eat that trap, or you can just, because you're a rogue, you're gonna die very fast, to be honest. So let's say you're in the open and they're gonna do big damage on you, not even with a stun, just big damage on you. You can just step your healer and get out of LOS of any target from the opponent, and then he can just stop you, and you can even get a resell with, yeah, if you're out of combat enough. But it helps a lot to have shadow step. There's no other way I would prefer to go, but you could still go cloak and dagger or burst of speed, but I recommend you to go Shadow Step. Then for the 5th tier, there's 30 Tricks, Paralytic Poison, and Prey of the Week. I don't know what you prefer to play with, but I play with Paralytic Poison, which has a stacking debuff on the target, which has like a 20% chance or something to proc. And if you reach 5 stacks, you get a free stun for 4 seconds, which doesn't DR with Kidney Shot or Cheap Shot. So let's say you're on your target and you're attacking, you have 4 stacks, and then you kick the healer, then he's locked out for 6 seconds, then you get a 5th stack and he gets stunned for 4 seconds. You can still do a full Kidney Shot for 6 seconds, so that's 10 seconds, and then you still have Smoke Bomb in 10 seconds of a stun, so it's really good. And it also gives your shiv. If you shiv a target, you root him, so you can actually shiv bomb on a healer, so he's unable to heal his teammates, which can actually lead you to a kill. Or you can just root someone behind a pillar, so he's out of loss of his healer, and then go hard on him with a bomb or something like that. There's so much possibilities. So yeah, it's basically the best way to go, but some might go Prey of the Week, because when you Kidney, Cheap Shot, Couch, Sap or Blind, they suffer like they get 10% more damage on them, so that's pretty sick as well. But I recommend you to go Paralytic Poison, which has a root and a stun for 4 seconds, which doesn't DR with anything, so that's pretty sick. Then the last tier, there's 2 ways to go. I don't really think Anticipation is a good thing. It might give you some sick bursts, to be honest, but I don't think it's good, because when you see Shuriken Toss or Marked for Death, I believe you should go Marked for Death though, because you get free 5 combo points, which gives you a free Abyss or a free Kidney Shot or free Rupture or free Slice and Dice, anything basically. But it's anything with combo points, it gives you 5 combos, so it's a full combo point recoup or something like that, which helps you when you're in trouble or when you don't have Slice and Dice up and you're doing good damage. You need Slice and Dice to regain energy, so you can just get free full Slice and Dice up again. So, but it's not only for getting Slice and Dice or something. Let's say you're nuking a target and you're CCing healer, you can still like put it on your focus, so you just target the healer, you put the Mark for Death into him and you full kidney him out of that, and then you can still follow up with other CCs, which actually helps you to get a clean chain CC on the healer. So I believe this is the best way, because like in 5.2 or 5.1, I don't know actually, the Shuriken Toss costed less mana and it builds up like Paralytic Poison stacks, so if you were running to your target you could still build up stacks, which would help you to reach your target if it's stunned them at the right time. So actually Shuriken Toss you might go, but it's still, it costs a lot of energy, to be honest, nowadays, so it's the best way to go is Mark for Death in my opinion. So yeah, these are my talents for now. I go for the same talents in actual Assassination. I just didn't change Shuriken Toss yet in Assassination spec because I didn't play it for a while, but yeah, still Mark for Death is my way to go, so keep this in mind. You can still change it up, but this is the best way to go in my opinion anyway. Then for glyphs we're gonna look at the major glyphs first. There's 2 glyphs you always have basically. There's Cheap Shot glyph, which increases the duration of Cheap Shot by 1 second, and which is a lot better because 1 second of Cheap Shot can do a lot actually. It can mean a kill if you use a Cheap Shot on a healer. It might mean a kill if you use it on your kill target. It's so easy. It might actually save your team because you're peeling with Cheap Shots in a dance or a restart. So basically Cheap Shot you should always have. Then the second one is blind. If you're, let's say you swap on from the healer to a let's say a rogue or a warrior in the opener, which has no cooldowns, like no shield wall, no nothing, actually nothing. And your healer, let's say you're playing RPS, which is Rogue Shadow Priest Shaman or Rogue Shadow Priest Druid, you can play whatever. But your healer has dots and you want to really swap over to that target because you can definitely get a kill. You can just blind your healer, like their healer, and even though he has full dots, your blind won't break because it removes all damage over time effect, so you can just put a full blind on him while he's actually full dotted and those dots will be removed. Then there's the third glyph, which you actually only use against casters, which is like mage, shadow priest, stuff like that. But against melee cleaves I don't recommend you to use Glyph, but you can do it if you really prefer to go it. You can do it for garroting healers out of something else, like because it increases the silence effect for 1 second, but in my opinion you can only use it against caster cleaves because yeah, there's like a lot of other glyphs which you can remove, which you can replace this one by, because yeah, against melee cleaves you're nothing with a silence effect really, to be honest. So, but then which one would you replace Garrett Glyph with? There's a few I in my opinion are good, but there's actually one I mainly use, which is Cloak of Shadows. It gives you like basically a 5-second shield wall because it reduces physical damage by 40%. So 5-second shield wall might save your ass a lot. But then there's still a lot of other ones like evasion. It increases evasion by 5 seconds, which lasts like 15 seconds then I believe. No, like 20 seconds. So 20 seconds evasion might save you as well. Then there's feint as well, which increases the duration of feint, which actually, if you go in elusiveness right here, it gives you a 7 seconds feint, so 7 seconds 30% less damage, which is good as well. But then there's two other glyphs which I think might help you to get a kill, or yeah, maybe peel as well. It all depends on your playstyle, to be honest. Shiv gives you a 2 second less cooldown on Shiv, which gives you a root faster back. Like it gives you back your Shiv root faster with paralytic poison, of course, if you have paralytic poison. But I don't recommend to go for it, but it might help. And then there's smoke bomb as well. It increases the duration of smoke bomb, which might mean a kill or something. Or yeah, a re-stealth even, because yeah, if you bomb and no one's running in smoke bomb, they can't stop you, can't really hit you, so only with AoE like Blizzard or something, but if they don't do it, you can just get a free re-stealth. But in my opinion, you should just go for one of those three. But I think the best one is Cloak of Shadows or Evasion though. Like Feint, you can basically spam an Evasion, and Cloak of Shadows are big cooldowns, so if it's, yeah, if you're getting against cleaves, you use actually Cloak of Shadows and Evasion instead of Garrett, and otherwise against caster cleaves, which is like, yeah, Shadow Priest Mage, Shadow Priest Warlock, stuff like that, something with a healer and two casters, you basically go Garrett. So yeah, I believe this is the best talent like Glyph thing to take, but then yeah, the rest is pretty much useless in PvP in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think you should take any of that. And yeah, minor glyphs, I just take Blurred Speed and Glyph of Poison, which is you run over water with Sprint and your poisons apply 50% faster with this Glyph of Poison. So yeah, I like, let's say your poisons run out in arena, you can just, yeah, put them on very fast again. But I think that's basically it. I don't think it's very useful, any minor glyph, so yeah, I don't think you should really look at those too much. Just make sure you take the right major glyphs. Okay, let's go for gems and reforging and enchants now. Like the stat priority for rogue right now is basically to go agility, crit, and mastery, where you used to go full resilience on a rogue. You just go agility and agility mastery and agility PvP power now, because yeah, resilience doesn't do that much. It changed in 5.3, so you basically go other gems and enchants and stuff. So let's check. On my helmet I got the Agile Primal Diamond meta gem, which increases, yeah, it gives you 216 agility and 3% more increased critical effect, so yeah, it does more crit damage. Then yeah, I also have Delicate Primordial Ruby, which is a 160 agility gem you put in every red socket you have. Keep in mind you always go for socket bonus, to be honest, because PvP power isn't that good anymore, but it still helps a little bit. So just try to go for socket bonuses. Then for my shoulders I have yeah, the enchant 200 agility and 100 crit on it, and the Adept Vermilion Onyx gem, which increases agility by 80 and 160 mastery. Don't go for a red socket here anyway, a red gem, because if you go for socket bonus you have 140 agility and 160 mastery actually, if you like put it on top of each other. But if you just put a red one in this, you'll lose 160 mastery for only 20 agility, so it's not really worth it to go for a red gem in here. Then for my chest, yeah, red socket is of course the 160 agility, and yeah, the yellow one is 80 agility, 160 mastery, so it's basically always the same. In yellow sockets you put the 80 agility, 160 mastery, and in the red ones 160 agility. In my gloves I have 80 agility, 80 PvP power gems, which is the gem you're gonna put in every blue socket you have. And yeah, I enchanted my gloves with 170 mastery, which is the best, because yeah, you don't actually have a better enchant for gloves. For my belt, yeah, I just put a belt buckle on it, and in the extra socket you get, I put 160 agility, which is pretty obvious because agility is the best right now. Yeah, blue socket is again the same gaming like my gloves, and yeah, you know, legs, red one 160 agility, and the blue one 80 agility, 80 PvP power, and boots again 80 agility, 160 mastery again. Basically, yeah, stat priority, of course, I already told you, is agility, crit, and mastery. But why do you go agility, crit, and mastery? Yeah, crit, you know what it does, it gives you more crit chance, but agility, it adds attack power and crit at the same time, so it's way better to go that than like full PvP resil, because they reduce the PvP resilience somehow anyway. So yeah, and mastery, it increases your eviscerate damage, which is your basic like your basic damage attack. It does most damage with 5 combos, of course, but it increases it with mastery, so it's the best way to go, to be honest. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, enchants, you basically know that, because yeah, you're going crit and mastery, and yeah, there's not a lot of enchants. So for gloves, 170 mastery, belt buckles, yeah. For legs you go 285 agility and 165 crit strike, and for boots, don't ever forget to take the Pandaren step, which is 140 mastery and minor speed increase, because if you don't take the speed increase, you won't be able to run as fast as anyone else because they all take it. For weapons, in my offhand I put a weapon chain, and in my main hand I put wind song because I didn't buy I didn't buy dancing steel because I didn't have money at that time. But yeah, you can buy dancing steel, which is the best for main hand. And then for offhand, you're of course gonna take a weapon chain, because otherwise if you get disarmed it's a full 10-second disarm on your ass, which doesn't allow you to do anything for 10 seconds basically, so you know what to do actually. For bracers, you take 170 mastery, chest 200 PvP result, and cloak 180 crit. That's basically it for gems and chance. But reforging, if there's any haste on a item, you're just gonna reforge it to crit or mastery depending on which other stat is on your item. Like for helmet there's crit, like mastery and expertise. You're gonna put the expertise into crit because you can't put it to mastery, and you're gonna have too much expertise anyway if you buy every tyrannical item, so you can just make sure you have 3% expertise in my opinion, so you don't dodge or parry anymore. Yeah, for neck you should probably you're gonna buy the mastery and haste neck probably, so you're gonna put the haste crit and then you still have the full mastery. And then on shoulders there's expertise and haste. You're gonna actually put the haste to mastery, because mastery is gonna build up your damage, and expertise just still helps you to get don't get parried and dodged, so that's way better. Then cloak, you get mastery and hit. If you're hit capped and you have too much hit, you can reforge the hit to crit, but keep the mastery for 100%. Your chest, you're just gonna leave it like it is, because it has crit and mastery on it. You're not gonna like reforge your crit or mastery off, because it's the best way to go anyway. So bracers, you have hit and crit, so you go mastery from the hit if you're hit capped, of course. Make sure you're 3% hit capped. More doesn't actually matter, because your white hits, they still miss if you have 3% hit, but your special attacks won't miss anymore, but your white hits do. So mastery from hit, but leave the crit on your bracers. On weapons you have crit and mastery, so don't just leave them as they are, because you have crit and mastery and that's your base stat. So your gloves, you have hit and crit, so you're gonna take mastery of the hit if you're hit capped again. Your belt, your crit and mastery, so you're leaving it like it is. And then legs is haste and mastery. So you don't need any haste, so just take the haste off as much as you can and you put it into crit or mastery. But for legs you're gonna put it into mastery because you already have crit on them as well. And then boots you're gonna leave the same as well because it's crit and mastery as well. Then for the rings you got the hit and mastery ring, where you're gonna put the hit to crit if you're hit capped again. Just keep hit cap is 3% for rogues, keep that in mind. And then the second ring you have is crit and haste, so you just take the haste off and you put it into mastery. On your trinkets you're gonna leave it as it is, because you're basically buying the PvP trinket, unless you're going with a PvE trinket, which is pretty good in 5.3. But yeah, I didn't buy the deck yet, which is Dartmouth Fair, so just go with the 2 trinkets. If you're gonna buy the PvP trinket, which to trinket stuff like trinket a stun or something, take the one with mastery and PvP power, so you get more damage. There's also one with increased HP on it, but I don't believe you should take that one, because you're better off with the damage. I'm gonna stop here because the macros are just gonna take too long, but there's gonna be a part 2 of this where I where I will show my macros in, and I also show you the talents it shows, like in a real PvP situation, which will be arena or BG, but most likely it will be an arena, where I'll show what everything does and how you can basically use every ability to their max, yeah, max success, like max, yeah, you just use them to their best. And yeah, your glyphs, yeah, I can't really explain that, but yeah, I'll show you how my macros work in the next one, in part 2. And if you want to see anything else from me, guys, make sure you put it in the comments. If you like this, then like it, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe, because yeah, I will put a lot more like this up, and yeah, arena videos as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.